Hey everyone, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com, and this is a new series of videos I'm starting of different locations you'll be able to log your alternative characters off in Guild Wars 2 to log on once an hour to gather a bunch of different nodes that are in these general areas. Now, all of these locations will be filled with nodes to gather, despite every time the server goes down or the zone crashes or anything happens that brings the zone offline. The nodes usually reset in these zones. All of the locations change and the sparsity changes of every one of them and stuff like that. But these locations that I've come across always have a lot of nodes there. Thus, why I call these locations hotspots and why they are worth logging a character off and logging on every once in a while to gather what is here. Now, all of these locations should take you no more than 10 minutes to do. Usually they take me about 5 minutes from logging on, and then you get a log off within 5 minutes of that, and then you can just leave the character there, come back in an hour, and gather everything again. This location here is the first location of the series, and you could call it the inspiration of the series since it is the biggest hotspot of nodes I've ever found in the entire game. It's in the northeastern portion of Blazeridge Steppes in the Terra Corundra waypoint area. The main moneymaker here is going to be mature herbs, which contain mint leaves, which sell for almost a silver apiece, chili peppers, which sell for almost 3 silver apiece, and dill sprigs, which sell for about the same as chili peppers, which is about 3 silver apiece. Now, the mature herbs that you'll be gathering here are a little uncommon to get, so while they are the best moneymakers, they won't be the most sustainable moneymakers that you will be getting in this location. The biggest and most sustained amount of, or I guess node you could call it, that you will be gathering here for the most money is seasoned wood logs. In this location, they're known as Tukawa saplings. There are generally always quite a few of them around. Usually you'll be able to get about 25 to maybe 35 logs from each time you log your character on and run around this location, and they're worth about 30 copper a piece, usually going up to 45 copper on weekends or weeknights. The other big moneymaker that we're going to be getting here is gold ore. Now, gold ore sells for just as much as the seasoned wood logs, although it is much more uncommon than actually getting the seasoned wood logs. You're more or less likely going to be finding a lot of iron ore here, which sells for half the amount of gold ore, which is about 22 to 28 copper a piece, depending on which time you offload them. I recommend you sell everything late at night or price your items a little bit higher if you're logging on in the morning or something like that. Because if you sell them late at night, they're going to sell for more because there's a much, much larger supply because there's many more people playing the game at that time. And then you also have in these locations sharing the ground with mature herbs, kale, which sells for maybe a little over 10 copper a piece, sometimes going up a little bit higher than that, but not very commonly going that high. Zucchini, which has a tendency to go anywhere from 15 copper a piece to 25 copper a piece. Still not the best seller in the world, but it's a nice little bonus. And then you have scallions, which are nodes that I usually skip, as well as onion nodes. I skip both of these because they just have a tendency to not sell very well at all. You struggle to actually make back what you spent on the sickle, depending on which type of sickle you're using. And you struggle to actually make any money above vendor value when you're selling it on the auction house. You can gather it if you want because, of course, when gathering these, you have a chance of getting unidentified dies, which, as you probably know, sell for a couple silver apiece. And if you get an unidentified die, you can either gamble it, which I actually don't recommend you do, or just sell it as the unidentified die on the auction house. They're pretty good money makers, and if you do happen to find one, you're going to be pretty damn happy because, well, it's a lot more money than what the scallions or onions or zucchini or kale is actually worth. Now, the reason for these locations are, as mentioned earlier in the video, to log an alt off here and log on about once an hour or something like that. If you don't have any alternative characters, you can always leave your main character logged off here, knowing that you're going to log on every once in a while and gather stuff. Say your wife has you doing chores around the house, you have to cook dinner or something like that. Maybe you'll want to log on once before dinner, gather everything, 5 minutes, log on after dinner, gather everything, and then you can shower, do whatever else you have to do, and then log back on before you start playing for the night and gather everything again. Or say you wake up a little bit early for work in the morning and you have nothing better to do than log on, spend 5 minutes, run around, gather everything, log off, and then, when you come back home, you can log on, gather everything, and continue playing. And that's pretty much exactly what these locations are for. You're not going to be able to just farm these locations, 5 minutes and then log off and then log back on 10 minutes later and farm it again. These locations don't work like that. They have an hour cooldown time for the nodes to get, spawn back again, just like all of the nodes work throughout the world for every other zone and every other node, except for the rich ones and Ori Chalcum and Ancient Wood, which have an hour respawn time. So as long as you know how this works, you can turn a huge profit by just logging on a character, spending a quick 5 minutes gathering everything, and logging off again. If you need to see the exact location I showed in the beginning of the video, of course, I circle it, and you can just watch me running through the video showing the exact path that you want to follow here. Aside from that, there's really nothing else to say, so if you guys enjoyed this video, as always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, of course, post them in the comment section or send me a private message and I will answer you as quickly as possible. Also, don't forget to bring some magic find food for here. I recommend peach tarts since you won't be killing much. Gold find isn't really that effective with the Omnon berry bars, so you can use peach tarts or cup of lotus fries, whichever you want. See you guys around and good luck.